It is Tuesday morning, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo for some. It'll be an interesting form of celebration that today takes. But between yesterday and today, at least in the sports world and more specifically the NFL world, we lost, as I call a Mount Rushmore member, right? For every sport, I think you can look at either a player or an individual who had an effect or impact on a game or a sport, or a coach who had such a great impact on a game. Not just straightforward impact, but impact in a way that they were like a founding father almost of the sport. An innovator, someone who changed the way you play or coach or do something in a sport. And that's what Don Shula was. All right, obviously I wasn't alive when he did the majority of his coaching. He stepped away from coaching in 95, coached for 33 total seasons. And he was the coach behind the Dolphins' 72-73 seasons, where in 72, that season, they're the only team in NFL history to have a perfect season. 14-0 in the regular season and 17-0 overall. And some may not know this, but he actually coached, an enormously long list of all-time greats, but 3 unbelievable quarterbacks. And Johnny Unitas, because he was the coach with the Baltimore Colts before he was with the Dolphins. One of the biggest upsets, actually, he was on the wrong end of in Super Bowl III when his Colts lost to Joe Namath and the Jets. The only Super Bowl that my favorite team has ever won. He also coached Bob Greasy and, of course, Dan Marino. Now, Shula passed away on Monday at the age of 90 years old. He turned 90 on January 4th, just a couple months ago. And as I mentioned, Mount Rushmores, I don't think and everyone's entitled to their opinion, everyone's entitled to tell you who they think the 4 most influential NFL coaches are of all time. And some people just take Mount Rushmore as the 4 best. That's not what Mount Rushmore means. It is the influential, as I keep saying, the founding fathers, the coaches that paved the way for all the other coaches for time to come. So, why is Bill Belichick a coach? You're not going to get into the details and, the history of his entire past and why he got into coaching. But I guarantee Don Shula is connected in some way. And it's said that he had some connection, Bill Belichick, with his dad and Shula and when he met him. So Don Shula left a tremendous legacy. And he was one of the guys who actually, by all accounts, did things the right way. Interesting story of playbooks being sent to him or being dropped off at his office of other teams, opposing teams, and he literally would not open it, would not look at it, would not study it, simply would toss it in the garbage because he wanted to win the right way. And he didn't always win, but he still, to this day, even though he's been retired for so long, still the most winningest coach in NFL history, including playoffs. 347 victories. Will Belichick catch him? I don't know. I'm not sure. But you cannot talk about the NFL, the history of coaches in the NFL, without mentioning Don Shula's name. And I just don't know how many people realize that. Everyone just points to, okay, Belichick's probably the best coach of all time. But again, is there a Belichick without Shula? And you could look around in every sport and make your Mount Rushmores of players and coaches and owners and executives and all sorts of different people who paved the way. Are there great African-American players in baseball without Jackie Robinson. Was Jackie Robinson the best baseball player of all time? No. He's in the Hall of Fame, rightfully so. He was a very good player. He could hit, he could run, he could field. He was a good player. Not the best player of all time, but he could arguably be on a Mount Rushmore because he paved the way for others. And that's what that means. So take a moment on Tuesday or the rest of this week or the rest of this month, the rest of this year. We have the time on our hands right now. And just type in Don Shula's name. Google. Pick a website. Type it in. And just do some research about Don Shula before you formulate your opinion about the Mount Rushmore of NFL coaches. And I think he will wind up on yours. If not, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below the video. This is the Dave Talk Sports YouTube channel. I, of course, am Dave Ettinger, your host, and I work at CBS Sports Radio, and you join me every morning that I drive home from work. Today, Tuesday morning, 6:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Cinco de Mayo, so enjoy your celebrations in quarantine or wherever you may be. I'm going to go home and go to sleep. Get out of this sun glare. But again, let's remember Don Shula and his greatness. 90 years old. Not a bad run. And I think his legacy will live on forever in NFL history. That's all I got. Sun glare is killing me. I hope you were able to make it through this video, even though you can only see half of my ridiculous face. And until tomorrow, enjoy las cervezas.